The global system based on greed and overconsumption has turned the privileged into consumers, but for the poor it has denied them their very basic right to exist. They are being excluded. They're not becoming consumers, they're losing their land, they're losing their water, they're losing their lives. The most important step to shift from being consumers to being citizens of the earth is to have solidarity with those who are being excluded. The second step that needs to be taken to shift from an identity of being a consumer in a global marketplace to being a citizen of this earth, playing our role in both protecting the earth, playing our role in social justice and in equitable sharing of the gifts of the earth, and playing our role in asserting our rights against the greed of corporations. That shift needs to be made not through an artificial one-dimensional programming, but through a shift in consciousness. And that shift in consciousness can only come through mutually shared experiences and a transmission of other possibilities. The democracy that is failing is the representative democracy that has been hijacked by capital. And as I often say, it has become a mutant democracy. Instead of being by the people, of the people, for the people, it has become by the corporations, of the corporations, for the corporations. And the only way to deal with the power of corporations, the speed with which they spread their control over the resources of the earth and the economies of the world, and the functioning of democracy, is to ensure that we practice what I have called earth democracy. And that can be practiced where people are. And this is happening around the world. When corporations want the land of Indian farmers, the governments join the corporations to appropriate the land through creating new laws like the special economic zones. But practicing earth democracy, the farmers where they live say, we will not give this land. And they have defeated corporate power, the militarized power of the state again and again and again. But to do that, you have to have at least two values. The first is a deep bond with the earth. Only peasants who are deeply, intimately connected with the earth as mother can fight that kind of fierce battle. And the second is confidence in yourself as being the ultimate decider of your fate. The rich countries have become so abusive of their role in the world at a time where they've lost power. America is basically bonded financially through its treasury to China, and it wants to bully China. It's a very crazy time to be a bully because you've got nothing. Everything you have has come from the south. Everything you have comes from some other country, and you want to now be a bully. It's very, very clear what is the thinking that allows this to happen. It's a thinking which puts capital as above human beings on the planet. And second, it's a thinking that thinks that the undemocratic exercise of power by corporate states working on behalf of capital will never be stopped. It will be stopped. It was stopped in WTO, and it's already being stopped here. I do not think the third world will allow more bullying on this front. When the financial economy starts to collapse around us, it is time to give up faith in the abstract capital. When the food crisis around us starts to take food beyond our reach, then it is time to stop putting faith in commodification of food that is driven by this abstract capital. This is the time for us to rediscover the real sources of wealth. The wealth that comes from nature, which is the ecological challenge, and the wealth that we create as society, which is the challenge of redefining ourselves from being consumers to being producers. I think the day human beings realize the potential of their creativity, the capacity of their hands, the capacity of their minds, they will not wait to be rescued by capital, but will start rescuing the society. The leadership of tomorrow is going to be a leadership of ordinary people, acting according to their conscience, acting in solidarity, and recognizing that we don't have to wait for big powers to write our narratives. We have the power to write our life's narratives ourselves.
Listen to the people!